So we're back on another video on the Scirocco, and in this video we've got a few parts to install. Now, after the previous video, I ordered those bump stops for the boot. However, they're not going to be coming until around about the 3rd or the 9th of March. So for now, I bought myself a battery, which came the other day. I bought myself some eyelids for it, and I've got a plan with them. And another thing I bought was some new side lights, which I think are going to look really good on it. However, in the previous video, we weren't able to fix the number plate light, and I think I know why. It's because the battery is dead, which it just means it's not going to supply any voltage to the number plate lights. And I don't know why it took me so long to figure out that, but since I've got the new battery, I'll be fitting that today, and hopefully they'll be working. However, the first thing we're going to do is install the battery, and hopefully it's the right battery. I pray. And then yeah, we'll see if it starts, which I hope it should. Now, in order to open the bonnet, I'll have to pull this, and under here is a little latch. Oop, almost just dropped the bonnet. Stupid. Now here is the battery. So what we're going to do is we're going to undo this bolt. We're going to undo this bolt, and I hope it should just slide out. I hope. So I've taken off these, and I've taken off the cover. However, I think we need to access this bolt, take it off, which might be holding this plate in here. So we'll get this removed, and hopefully this will come out. So as we're taking that off, we can now get this out. This is very dead. You can get the new one in. So we've just unpackaged the new battery. So trying to do this one hand is actually awful. Oh, 1 second, we'll be back. Now, in the previous clip, I did put this battery in backwards. However, I'm glad I realized that this was a red wire. Otherwise, that probably would have ended very bad. So the battery's all plugged in. I've got that in. Battery positive to the positive, negative to the negative. I did see a little spark come from the negative while putting it on. It scared me a little bit because it's the first time I've ever put a battery on. But yeah. Hopefully this starts. I'm about to check right now. It's a big moment. This is a big, it's not really a big of a moment, like I say. So, on. The battery light is still on, which is kind of concerning. Now, when the car started, what happened next was very unexpected. That noise, that's the timing chain. Timing chain needs to be done. Oh no. That was the timing chain. That was 100% the timing chain. Now, before I switched off the car, I managed to get another video of what it sounded like. And I think in this video, it sounded a lot clearer. Oh, shit. Oh, that was not good. I'm so glad I switched it off when I did. However, that was 100%. That's got to be the timing chain, because I've never heard that. And it was coming directly from here, which is where the timing chain is. Wow. Yeah, not good. Not good. So, not the best of starts to a video. Now, I knew the timing chain needed to be done on this. However, I didn't know it was going to be that quick. However, the clip I'm about to show, that's how it sounded before. And that clip right now, oh shit, is how it sounded after. So that is a big worry. That is a big worry, because it was out of nowhere. It went from the first clip, and it went quickly into the second. Now, it's never done that before. It's always sounded quite smooth. However, I'm very glad I caught that on camera before I switched the car off. Let's get back to fitting the eyelids and the lights, which we're gonna oh, we need to do the number plate light also. What's the point? What's the point? So we put in the last video, we did put the LED light in here. Okay, this is gonna be a struggle to get off with one hand. So here is the LED light. It's this one. The previous bulb should be in here. It's this one. And Now looking at it, this looks pretty burnt. So that could be why it wasn't on. But yeah, we don't know. That could just be the look of the bulb. I won't lie to you, I know nothing. Now I haven't popped the car in a very photographic position because I'm kind of low-key in a bush right now. However, I would move it. However, due to the previous video and clips, I think you can understand why I don't want to start it and move it, which is a problem in the future video. Yet again, this is not a good start to YouTube. But however, oh, and that's a spider right there. But okay, let's paint it red also. What the hell? This is what we do. We just well there. So we take this up. Man, these. Come on, I'm actually scratching my car here. Not like that matters, you know. It's not like I'm driving it. So then we just pull this out. Like so. Yeah, this one looks quite burnt out also. Yeah, so now if these bulb lights don't work, I'm actually gonna be sort of like annoyed. We'll put the lights on. I hope they're on. Let's go. Okay, we've done something. We've fixed something on the Scirocco. Yes, come on. Yes, they're on. They are on. So, I don't understand why we have a bulb light though. I don't understand that. Now, if you're wondering how I got the boot open, well, like I said, these are coming in the 3rd to the 9th of March. If you're wondering how I got the boot open, I found a good method. Now, in order to open the boot, I found if I hold this boot key, right, while pulling, right, so if I've got it open slightly there, obviously it does like that as usual. If I hold this while pulling, the boot opens. So I've just had my dad to have a look at the car, and he's found a few problems with this. Now, if we have a look right there is a crack, and if you have a look down here, there's a lot of oil. However, I'm gonna fit the eyelids to the car. I'm gonna fit the lights somehow. It's not gonna make it feel any better. I've got more parts on the way for this, and yeah, I'm gonna have to find a timing chain. So I had to leave the video yesterday because it got too dark. However, I did put the eyelids on the car, and I think I might have to stick with my word in saying I don't think it looks bad with the eyelids black. However, I think they'll look a lot better red. What we've got to do next is these little side lights, which are in the car. So I thought I might have needed to take off the arch lining. However, I found those two bolts at the front, which one has just fell down there on the under tray. I might be able to get it. But that's a bit of a pain in the arse. However, we've got this out. We're gonna go put the new ones in. Yeah, we'll install them now. Now what I've got to do is I've got to put this where the bulb was, and obviously I've got to put this into here. But since these are LEDs, it's got a built-in resistor, which I'm thankfully it's got a built-in resistor. Otherwise, I'd have been having to put a resistor in myself. But yeah, so we've got this plugged into the bulb light. We've got this plugged into the main sensor, whatever it's called. Obviously it's got a built-in resistor, which I'm thankful for, otherwise I would have had to put one on myself. But yeah, let's go put the ignition on, switch the side lights on, and then we'll just switch all the lights on, and see if it works. But yeah, let's switch the car on. Well, not switch the car on, because if I remember last time when we switched the car on, it rattled its arse off. So yeah, let's switch the lights on. Just to make sure that light's on, that bottom light is on. So hopefully this should be on. Yes, get in. That does look really good. We'll put the hazard lights on, because then they should be. Okay, let's put the hazards on. Yeah, that looks good. Yep. Something I did do is forgot to put the casing around it. So when I put it on, it didn't look too good. The fitment looked awful, and then I realized I need to put this on. So at least I know what to do for the next one. But this has been a right because when I put the bolt in or the screw in, of course it wouldn't, because why wouldn't it happen? Of course, Volkswagen done this on purpose. Got to be. There's a gap here where the bolt fell down. So yeah, try to take off the bit of the under tray, bit of the arch lining to try and get in it. So we've got this on now. We're gonna get this. We're gonna screw it in, and let's pray that it doesn't drop. Because if it does, then I'm gonna have to probably shake the shit out the bumper again. But yeah, that looks good. Right, let's do a comparison. This bottom side, that looks awful. Then we've got this side. Yeah, that looks good. That looks good. I do really like that. That makes the car look so much cleaner. So, since that side's been done, we'll get the other side done. So, I'll catch you in a bit. The first thing that you do is you take off that bolt there. You take off that bolt there. And then this comes loose and it comes off. Now, I originally thought I had to take off the arch line. I found out I don't have to. However, sometimes it can be a little bit of a bastard because the bolt drops in here. So, a slight update on getting this side fixed. For some reason, and I don't know why, if I have a look here, if you see, there's two slots right there. There's one and there's two. There's one for this plate here, and there's another one for, obviously, this light here. However, when we come to this side, there's only one. And it looks like it's for this light. However, when I have a look, there's no bolt there. So I'm going to have to go to my original plan. I'm going to have to take out the arch lining and come in from this ways and see if I can do anything with it. So I've managed to get this side off. And the bolt was actually in that hole because I went through the arch lining here and I've reached it from the back. I felt where the screw was, and it was there. It was just on a very awkward angle. So, yeah, let's get this off, all plugged out, and then get the new one in. So, we took the old one off, which is that one. We've got the new one, and we'll give it we need to put this casing on. So, before we do that, we need to give it a quick peel, which I'm going to do on camera because it's actually... That was nice. It's actually started to rain, which is not great. Have electrics out, but hey ho, let's see what happens. So I had to stop for a while because it started raining. We've got this on now. We just need to bolt it up. We need to bolt the arch lining back up, and then we'll be all good. We'll turn on the lights. We'll see what they'll look like. So we've finally got this side on, and obviously both sides are on now. So we'll go switch the car on, and we'll see what it looks like. I actually can't wait to see this because this is about to look so nice. You know, I love driving a car. No, I love having a car I can't drive though. So I think it's mint. That side is not on. Now I don't know if you can tell, but by the music, this is not good. So I found my stupid little mistake. This here, I didn't plug these two little prongs in. Right here, these two little prongs. You can't even see them. These two little prongs, I need to plug them in there. I forgot to do it. Stupid mistake. Now it's a simple fix though. And I won't lie, just for double measure, that's plugged in now. I'm gonna go switch the lights on just to make sure that they still work. We'll see if it comes on, and if it does, then champion. If not, then I don't know. Oh, it's unplugged again. What the? Now it's just a matter of fact, they better not come off. Okay, let's put this back in there. So just before we'll bolt everything up, I just want to double check that this time the lights do come on. And if they don't, I'll be very, very, very disappointed and have to take it apart again. But yeah. Let's go! That looks sick. Yeah, that looks real good. I'm gonna put the hazard lights on. The best, but... So... Yeah! That looks good. That looks very, very good. So the car is now done. All the bolts are in for the bottom lights. Let's see what they look like. And it's starting to get a little bit dark. So the LEDs are probably going to look a lot better. Keys in my pocket. Well, take the ignition on. Lights on. That looks so much cleaner, and I think the eyelids actually look quite clean on this. Obviously, like I said in the previous clips, I'm wanting to get them red because I feel like that's going to look a lot better. However, I'm very happy with those bottom lights. So let's put the hazard lights on, see what it looks like completely. And it's getting darker, so you're able to see them a lot better. They look very, very, very clean. Yeah, I am very, very fond of them. Now, what I also want to do is, if you see these, I want to get some that go across like that. I think that'll just look clean. I think I'm going to get a sun strip for next video, so it make the front end look a lot more aggressive. And my paint's been delivered, so hopefully next week I'm able to paint them eyelids red and see if I like it. If not, we can also just get some black ones and sit them back on. Another thing I want to do is obviously get LEDs for the headlights, but in sometime in the future, once I've done the timing chain and all the things like that. And I also need to get the sensor for the camshaft correlation sensor. I've already bought one of them. They're on the way. Yes, and then the front end should look a lot better. Gonna get a front splitter. This is future plans, but yeah. And then obviously we've got the LED number plate lights. So yeah, the build is coming along. However, the engine is not coming along right now. As of recently, I've discovered that the engine has a misfire, which isn't good, but we'll get into that in the next video. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know what you think of this video in the comments. Like and subscribe. I'll catch you in a bit.